Right, here we are. That was an interesting thing, pulling that apart. That was just about rusted through, and there was a rat house underneath it. You can see the sunflower. There was some other passion fruit shells and strawberry tops. So that's where all my fruit's been going. Tomato skins. So it'd be good to get rid of that rat house. I didn't film any of this because I thought, oh, nobody's interested, but I thought, screw it, I'm just going to film it from now anyway. So in the bottom of there I've got lots of slotted socked ag pipe, and it's almost like 2 layers because of the bottom of that was a weird shape. Coiling it around, it made some weird shapes, so, and I had heaps left over, so I put some sort of on top that was sitting in between the bottom layer. So it's almost two layers of 100mm ag pipe high. Then I filled in the gaps with the scoria. Used a fair bit of that. Right in the middle there is a big flower pot that I cut the rim off of, and that's about 25 centimeters high, and it's just under here. You can see the rim of it about here. And I filled that flower pot, well, there's a geotextile layer on top of the scoria, and then there's a geotextile layer inside the pot. Then I filled the pot with the sand. So the sand is going to bring the water right up from the bottom, and the geotextile is just to keep the soil and the sand away from the scoria. And I only use this sand, it's a very thin layer, it's almost insignificant, but it's just because I had it lying around, just kind of want to get rid of it. So on top of that I'm going to put probably, we'll see how much, maybe half of this bale of pea straw, maybe more, don't know. Then I've got some other clippings and twigs and leaves and shit that I raked up off the ground. I'm going to put that on top of the straw, and then I've got a whole lot of good potting soil, manure, compost to put on, and should be good. I'm also going to be boarding up the sides of this with those wooden panels, chop them down. They used to be around the aquaponics system, but I'm going to put them on here just to protect the plastic from the sun, and also to pretty it up a bit. It looks a bit hideous at the moment. But yeah, I like wicking beds. I reckon they are the bomb. We've got 2 big ones there, and they just do well because we can't grow anything in the dirt here in the ground, just because of those gum trees. They just suck the life out of everything. If you put anything in the ground, any good soil, they invade it, turn it to sand. Any water you put on the ground, if it doesn't just run off because the soil is hydrophobic, if it does get in, then the trees just take half of it. So no point trying to grow anything in the ground, it just does not grow. You put a healthy plant in the ground, it actually goes backwards. So wicking beds, if we actually want to seriously grow some produce, wicking beds are the only way to go. Anyway, I'll stop rambling on. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Well, that was easy. This pea straw is nicely compacted, and I can literally just break a layer off about that thick, and it's nice, like a biscuit almost, like that. And that evenly divided up perfectly into 6 of those squares, and it's looking like the soil's not going to be very deep, but this will all rot down and it will all compact down to nothing. So over the week, I'm not planting in this straight away because it's winter, but over the weeks, months before I plant into it, it's all going to sink down, and I'll keep topping the soil up. That's all the gum leaves and twigs and stuff like that. It's sort of it was semi-decayed, and so I took some trimmings off of this bush here to clear a path, and that's all in there now. And I've got something else special to go in underneath the soil. Been keeping them in the freezer since last week. Can you tell what that is? Yeah. That's the silver perch that used to be in the old aquaponics system. Nothing's going to waste. It's all good for the plants. I just thought I'd take this chance to show you what they looked like or how big they got. And this is literally after nearly 4 years. I look back and I think it's about 3.5 years since I set up the aquaponics system. And the biggest one, I did actually eat the biggest one, and it was a bit bigger than that. I had to bake it whole, it was too small to fill it. And the smallest one, look at that. So if that's how big that got after 3.5 years, I don't know why there's such a difference. I mean, obviously, or maybe that one was more aggressive in eating all the food before the others could get to it, pecking order sort of thing. I definitely fed them enough, sometimes twice a day in the summer, and maybe I didn't feed them enough, who knows. But I think, like I said, the water temperature is too cold for most of the year, so they just don't eat very much. And yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Other than that, they were really healthy looking. Bit of a shame to knock them off, and I did look at options to try and move them into a dam or something, or try and put them somewhere where they could live on, but I only know one person with a dam and he's just about to dredge it out completely, so there's no go there. It's just too hard in the end, you know, for I think 10 fish, whatever it was, it's just not worth it. So it was a bit sad to knock them off, but not a complete waste. They'll live on in this system. Feed the new plants. And here's what I've got to put in the bed. I don't know if this is going to be enough, maybe not, but I've got a few bags of this good stuff from the local composters, potting mix, and a few bags of mushroom compost and some cow manure. I might need a bit more just regular dirt, so I might just go and grab a wheelbarrow load from over there out of the garden. It's basically sand, it's useless, but if I mix it in with this, it'll be okay. So some of this stuff, because it's been in the bags for a while, it's sort of gone a bit clumpy. So putting it in one bag at a time and just using a little thing to smash up the chunks. And oh, there's a big one. Just like that. And the mushroom compost, I think it's, well, that was cow manure, but some of the mushroom compost has got this white powdery looking stuff through it, and I'm hoping that that's actually mycelium. Maybe some of it survived from the mushroom growing. I mean, I really don't know, I'm not an expert, but that'd be nice if we get some mycelium going through this lot. Help break it all down, make the nutrients plant available, and also I'm going to throw a handful of worms in from the worm farm. I just threw a bag of mushroom compost in. That's what I'm talking about, that clump there, it's all white. Whereas the other stuff, it just looks like compost, brown, you know. But that, is that mycelium? Don't know. I guess we'll find out later. There you have it, one wicking bed. So obviously the weight, it's all squashing down and squeezing a bit of water out, but that'll stop, and then the water will start wicking up into the soil, so I might have to top it up again tomorrow. Yeah, I'll just get on with putting the boards on. I'll put the straw on, put the soil to bed, so to speak, and just keep it nice, and give something for the worms to work on underneath the mulch. So when I come to put the plants in it in a month and a half or so, looking forward to growing stuff in there, and next problem is going to be keeping the rats off it once the plants are in, because they just eat everything. Anyway, that's another story. Thanks for watching.